Full time, Bayern Munich 3, Chelsea 1. Now, I'm going to say this straight away, the first thing I want to say, and today is the biggest indicator of that. These two the centre-halves that we've got, they're good enough, they're brilliant for Conference League level. But when you go into the Champions League, they're not good enough. And this window, we failed by not signing a centre-back. And I keep saying this. Even after the Colwell injury, we didn't sign a centre-back. And we've been left with Chalobah and Tosin, who I still think are good centre-backs, don't get me wrong. But there are only options. And when they have a poor game against Brentford, you can't look to drop them. And that's my biggest concern. Because in that first half today, we didn't even play badly. We didn't even play that badly today. The attack looked brilliant. We looked threatening going forward every time, apart from Pedro Neto. But mistakes cost you. First goal, own goal, unlucky from Chalobah. I feel like we should have defended the set piece better. Second goal, penalty, again, unlucky. You could argue whether it was a penalty or not. I think it was just. I don't think Caicedo really nicked the ball. And then the third goal, mistake from Gusto. When you've got a clinical striker like Harry Kane up front, you're going to get punished. And that's what I said. We can't afford silly mistakes in a game like this. And it's come back to cost us. We lose the game 3-1. And Cole Palmer, brilliant today. Listen, Cole Palmer ran the show for Chelsea today. He was absolutely brilliant. Robert Sanchez as well. This is the first time I've sat here and said, I'm going to say I feel bad for Robert Sanchez because he put in a blinder of a performance despite conceding 3 goals. He was brilliant. He was absolutely brilliant. But it's unlucky. We've got to move on to the next game, man. And it's like, we've got Man United on the weekend. As I say, no more silly mistakes. Because again, even though United are shit, it's going to cost us.
He was shit. He was most definitely shit. Chelsea lose 3-1 to Bayern in our Open Champions League game. And all I have to say is that backline had a horror show. What kind of self-sabotage football are we playing? We gave them all 3 goals. We gave them a pen. We gave them a set piece that shouldn't have been a set piece. And they scored from that eventually. And then Gusto decided, why not let me play Kane through? It seemed like Cole Palmer was the only player that wanted to win. And the issue is, the second we brought Esteval and Andre Santos on, and we took off Neto and Enzo Fernandez, we played 10 times better. But yeah, if we play like this against Barca, if we make this many mistakes against Barca's high-pressing football, we're holding 6.
5 things we learned from Chelsea Bayern. He was at the standard. No one else was at the standard. You've got to make every moment matter in Champions League. That is what the competition's about. Look, when he plays it through to Enzo, Enzo has to take that first time. Brilliant pass. There's a pass he put in behind for Gusto. Takes his goal well. Takes his second goal well, just offside. He did. I'm not saying others didn't have good performances. Sanchez was fine. Caicedo, aside from his pen, that pen is a moment that matters. Yes, he makes up for it with the goal. There were nice moments in the game that he had, flicking over players. Like, I was happy in general with a lot of performances, but these moments, they are what define Champions League winners. They are what define 2012, they're what define 2021, and the others have to meet them. He was the only one that met them. Wake up. 2, he was very good. Very, very good. The amount of runs he made to the byline, the runs in behind, like, our centre-back couldn't deal with him, to be honest. Not well. And then he finishes the chances he gets a pen. The other one, Gusto just puts it on a plate for him. Number 3, as was he. Cucurella's been locking up right wingers left, right and rhubarb for the last year and a half. I thought he gave him his hardest game I've seen in a long, long time. I got the better of him a number of times. Little passes he does, like, through the lines, like... Very creative player, good player. But yeah, he was good. Number 4, the levels. I just want to drive home that point because I want to look at the 3 goals we conceded. Look, the first one, yeah, it shouldn't be a foul, but you got to deal with it. It's been given, you've got to deal with it. The second goal, like, that's just, you can't get outsmarted by someone like Kane here. You know he's clever. You cannot, you know he's going to use his body well. It's poor. The third goal is calamitous. You are in the game. You are well in the game. There's just the moments that matter. And that is, this team has to adjust to that. You want to go far in this competition, you've got to make those moments matter. It's the group stage. It's the toughest game you've got in the group stage. It is what it is. But they have to be ironed out. 5 was actually to do with that second goal. Look, it's offside, whatever. But what a pass that was from Santos. I actually thought when he came on, he was good. And I don't think Maresca should be afraid to use those options. If Enzo looks like he's maybe struggling in the game, he should switch it up. Neto, the same. If he's struggling, you've got to change it up. I get it, because Neto gives you a lot of defensive work, but we've got options. You know what I mean? They're there to be used. And they will be used. This is new. This is new to this season. Or whatever. I think it's the most we've had our squad put together was literally kind of today. So, you got to kick on from that. You've got to use those players. And most games will be easier than that. But, you have to be using them. And, like, realistically, even though... I know he's had high ratings and stuff with Chalobah, but... Tosin has to play with how we play. He has to be the player because he's the only one who can break lines from defence, in the middle. On that other side, I'm not convinced it has to be Chalobah. I'm not convinced. I almost would rather see like Achampong develop there, to be honest. Like, just that's my opinion. But yeah, you know, I'm not going to sit there and need drastic changes because we've lost to Bayern in a game where, like I said, you got to finish your dinner with some of the chances you had. You got to iron out those mistakes. That's not the time to be, oh my God, the world's ended. You know, that's not what it is. But it is also a time to grow from that, you know?
Is Chelsea's season over? There is no doubt that Chelsea are in crisis, but no club is in more of a crisis than Chelsea at the moment. They're a bunch of misfits. They are a team that is struggling hugely, and I don't really see a way back for them at the moment for three key reasons. There's a ridiculous amount of money that's been spent there, £1 billion. But is Chelsea's season over yet? Of course it's not. It was sort of over in a way because you're not doing anything this week. European football, Chelsea are sat on their backside. But the big problem Chelsea have got is if you look at their next few fixtures, so their next 4 games where really after a season that started like that, you need to be going out there and winning games, there is absolutely no guarantee that that will happen. And in fact, it could get worse because I don't really see anything other than hope. And as a Manchester United fan, let me tell you, hope is not something to cling on to when it comes to top-end football. You need to believe, you need to trust, and you need to know that you're heading in the right direction. And at the
Caicedo, the best defensive midfielder they said in the world. He doesn't even clear Ugarte and Casemiro. Hey, what is Caicedo doing? I was hearing no one can go past him. He couldn't even pass the Harry Kane test. That's right, Bayern Munich, easiest, most comfortable win. Bayern Munich 2-0 Chelsea right now with the Chalobah own goal and Harry Kane penalty goal. Chelsea cannot. Bro, they're struggling. They're listening to Yabba Dabba Doo ×2. It's over for Chelsea. I want to see Nicholas Jackson come on. I want to see Nicholas Jackson just come on. Now that Harry Kane's got his goal early on, I want to see Nicholas Jackson come on and score for Bayern Munich. Yes, Nicholas Jackson. He will save this Bayern Munich team and make it 5-0 Bayern Munich. And I'm not even joking when I say that. What a game we're having. Bro, 2 goals in the Liverpool game, 2 goals in the Bayern Munich game. These first half games already clearing every other day, even though yesterday and the day before we had beautiful games all around.
World champion amepigwa. World champion wewe jua amepigwa. Tuliambia watu wa Chelsea, mko na bahati sana pale Club World Cup. Hii Bayern mulilenga. Hii Bayern ya leo mulilenga. Bwana Bayern si jokes. Bayern si jokes. Hadi Chalobah anapiga hoji. Chalobah anafungia Bayern. Tuliwaambia watu wa Chelsea kitotawini pale Bayern watashinda poa na watashinda njaa. Lakini kupiga Bayern maybe kwa ndoto bwana. Maybe yesire yenu mweke Manchester. Keni Manchester on Saturday. Juwale walipigwa, nyi pia mmepigwa. Pale London team ni hii. Team ni hii pale London. Na wewe ukiona wengine hapo London anasema inaweza beba UEFA. Jua hizo ni ndoto bwana. Unasema nigawie nini? Nigawie maze furamaze. Nigawie furamaze.
Another entertaining night of Champions League football. Champions League is always sweet. Like, Champions League is always sweet. And especially this new format whereby, you know, we can enjoy big games from the first day of the Champions League. Is so entertaining, right? We saw Inter Milan defeat Ajax, you know, Marcus Thuram scoring 2 goals in that game. Bayern Munich, this should have been able to put us in because Bayern Munich had a lot of chances, you know, to finish Chelsea completely, but all thanks to Sanchez in that game. So 3-1. Then we also saw Liverpool pulling off a late winner. Liverpool, they become kings of late winners these days, right? Something similar to what happened in the game against Bournemouth happened in the game against Atletico Madrid. They were leading 2-0. Atletico Madrid came back 2-2, and Liverpool found a way through Van Dijk, you know, to win that game in the last moment of the game. Paris Saint-Germain defeated Atlanta 4-0 without Dembele, without Doué. That's to tell you the strength of this Paris Saint-Germain team. They are playing so well. To be able to defeat Atlanta like this, I didn't see this result coming. I expected Paris Saint-Germain to win, but not like this. So well done to all the teams that won tonight. And also, Olympiacos and Pafu played 0-0. Slavia Prague played 2-2 with Bodo Glimt. We'll talk about the games in the next video.
Player ratings, Chelsea versus Bayern Munich. Sanchez, 5 out of 10. Today, I didn't hate him. Today, he played well. But Gusto, anyone can get to him. Chalobah, minus 10 out of 10. Pitiful. After I fucking bigged you up, you put display on like that. Fuck off. Tosin, the jury's out. He might actually be worse than Fofana. Minus 10 out of 10. Gusto, I don't know who he was playing for today. Was it Bayern or was it us? Because what the fuck? Minus 20 out of 10. Reece James, he's not a midfielder. Why is he being played in midfield when we have Andre Santos, we have Lavia, we're fucking Achimpong? But again, you know, Kukurea not available. He got shafted by Elise. We're not even going to talk about that. Caicedo, minus 1 out of 10 today. He never has a shit game. Today, that brought back West Ham vibes. It was awful. Enzo Fernandez, minus 10 out of 10. He was shit. He was shit. It was a spade for a spade. Santos needs to be starting. Neto, 3 out of 10. He was tired. He shouldn't have started. We got Man United on the weekend. He's not playing. Palmer, usual, doing it on his own. 8 out of 10. João Pedro tonight, I really liked. I really, really liked him. He tried to do as much as he could. That's that. Garnacho, he was good. Weirdly enough, we looked more balanced when he was on the pitch. I'll say that. Esteval, again, came on, took the game by a scruff of the neck. Santos needs to start. Next weekend, if I fucking see Enzo Fernandez on this pitch, I'm going to walk to Stamford Bridge and I'm going to headbutt Enzo Maresca.
Over and over and over again. Harry Kane is Chelsea. Tobes, this is your number 9. But he's not scoring for you, he's scoring against you. How can one man leave the Premier League, go to Europe, in Germany, as is fun in Bayern Munich, and then the Champions League draw happens, and who does his team face on game week 1? Chelsea. Now, we all know how this man loves to play Chelsea. Like, we all know really, really well how he loves to face Chelsea. Now, one Tobes saying it's poetic that Chelsea are going to win the Champions League because of the fixtures that they've got. It's poetic for the wrong reasons, mate. Because Harry Kane started your Champions League campaign off with a loss. But this man, Stamford Bridge need to build Harry Kane a statue. Because what that man has done for that club over 10, 11 years is nothing short of sensational. So whether you agree or you disagree, Harry Kane is proper Chelsea. And that will forever be attached to his name.
Yeah, that World Cup stuff, it's all frauds, bro. That Club World Cup, bro. That's all that it is, bro. It's a fluke, bro. Yeah, it's a fluke, bro. Even us, we beat Bayern, bro. Even us, we be cooking Bayern, bro. We be owning Bayern. By the way, this man has 13 G8 in 6 games. Or something like that, bro. This is the biggest farm I've ever witnessed, bro. The farming he's doing in Germany, and I don't know what this farming is, bro. He got a full farm, bro. Horses, sheep, dogs, cows, bro, whatever, llamas, bro, whatever you put in a farm, bro. 13 G8 already, bro. I don't know, bro, because I never want to support Bayern, bro, but we also playing Chelsea this year, bro. So I don't know, bro. I was just, whoever loses, I was going to cook. That was my schedule, bro. Whoever loses, we were going to cook, bro. And right now, it's looking like that Fraud Club World Cup, bro. That mid-tournament, bro. That's what I'm seeing, bro. That Club World Cup it's irrelevant, bro. That's all that I'm seeing right now.
I've seen enough! Chelsea need to go back to the Conference League so we can play against fucking Wi-Fi passwords. Because that's the only way we can win. Bayern tossed us around as if we're Mia Khalifa. We don't belong in the Champions League.